is Brooklyn Ty, and you're tuned in to What's the Word? Thank you, and thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being here. Thank y'all for sharing the previous podcast so far. I appreciate all of you, like I really do. So you're tuned into episode 2, and happy September. Can y'all believe it's September? Like, we're in the 9th month of 2021. I have no idea where 2021 went, but it came, it rushed through, and now it's about to say deuces, and we're going to be into 2022. Like, it's 3 months left. Like, how you going to act? Geesh, I don't know. But we are here. Thank God every day. Like, it's a must. If y'all don't pray, I suggest and recommend y'all pray, and to pray especially every morning that y'all open your eyes, that, you know, you thank God for allowing you to see a new day and allowing God for waking you up in your right mind, because trust and believe, there's people out there who will go to sleep normal and wake up and like completely lost their mind, literally. So like every day. And that's not even being funny. Like, that's a true fact. Like, look it up. I promise you. Anyway, here I go babbling first few minutes. But I want to first send prayers to everyone affected by Hurricane Ida. Louisiana was hit very hard a few days ago. So, like, that recovery is going to be crazy. And then it actually happened on the 16th year anniversary of Katrina. So, you know, sending love and prayers to everyone in Louisiana. And then last night here in New York and New Jersey, we had major rain, major flooding, major storm going on. I couldn't even make it to work. So, like, people were stranded over the 2 states. Like, just anxiety of thinking about being stuck on the train. Like, I'm so glad. Me personally, I'm like, yeah, I'll make it. I'll get through. Without even thinking about, like, the way the subway, like, y'all would have to look up, I recommend Subway Creatures on IG. They are normally good with, like, all of the subway happenings. So they did post pictures of all of the water coming in. Can you imagine, like, just being stuck underground in a subway tunnel and water coming? How are you escaping that? Like, there is no escape. And what about being stuck in between stations on a train with no power, and then water starts to come through, and now just anxiety. It's real bad. So luckily I didn't go to work. I didn't start my route before it got bad, or before I like realized, like, chick, you not making it to work. So I just kept my ass home. And then even when I called my job, they were like, please don't come in. Like, the parking lot is flooded. Like, don't try to get here. If you can't make it, don't try to get here. So I was like, oh, you know what? Bet that. So I didn't go in. I just, said a lot of prayers for people stuck, people stranded. My mom, my son was out there. They went actually to a Broadway show. So it's like, shout out to Broadway. They're kind of opening up, but only for vaccinated people. So, again, everyone is in my prayers. So thank you for being here. If this is your first time, welcome to the madness, all the love, and all the craziness. I don't know. I'm just really appreciative. And, all the love I've been shown has been overwhelming, to say the least. But seriously, I'm still trying to maneuver on this podcast world, so I need y'all to bear with me. But I appreciate y'all being here on this journey with me. Bet to believe that, because especially like all of my podcast sisters and brothers and cousins, like, y'all have given me tips, advice, and I just look forward to getting better. Basically, like, I'm learning. Every day is a learning situation. So I feel like if you're not learning something new every day, like, you wasted a whole day. A whole 24 hours. Like, you couldn't learn nothing? Really? Okay. So let's try to work on that as well. So, like, just always keep in mind, like, I need to learn something new or something I did not know yesterday. Like, let's try to do that every day. But, be sure to sign up to my newsletter on my website, which is www.BKLYNTYENYC.com, which is basically BrooklynTyNYC.com. So you will be informed on all of my blogs, all of my podcasts. Every time I drop, I'll do a newsletter. So please subscribe to that. That's the first thing that pops up on my website. When you tap into it, it'll just have you fill it out, and you'll be abreast with everything that I have going on, maybe even in your area. So, and if you want to be like abreast and hip to my daily shit, watch my IG stories. It's a lot of crazy stuff, especially when I'm traveling in these New York City streets, from the train, from the walks. I walk the bridge a lot, the Brooklyn Bridge. I see a lot of crazy things. And then I also do a lot of traveling too. So between Virginia, ATL, San Francisco, Las Vegas, that's one way y'all can kind of see my daily routine of things. Also, people send me stuff. So it's a lot of that going on. I have crazy friends and followers and people that I follow, so always exciting things, and as well as informative. I try to keep y'all informed with things that are going on in the world, positive mostly. I don't really try to do too much of the ratchetness, but yeah, check me out on IG, which is at BrooklynTyNYC, BKLYNTYENYC. And that's Instagram and Twitter, but basically most of my daily routine is on my IG stories. So watch them. And if not, don't. But today I'm going to bring you some of what I'm watching, what I think you should be watching, what I'm reading, what I'm seeing in the world, the word on the streets. So on this episode, I actually got to recap a trip to my recent LA extravaganza at D Nice Club Quarantine Live, which was amazing. It was amazing. It was so dope. We were supposed to do another one today in Brooklyn, but unfortunately the weather caused it to be rescheduled. So in the next podcast, I will be bringing you that. They were scheduled it for September 16th in Brooklyn. So just so you know, if you weren't able to get tickets for today, September 2nd, which is going to be at Prospect Park, try for September 16th, because it was sold out for today, but now with the new date, a lot of people probably won't be able to make it. So they'll be opening up more tickets. So meet me there, thank me later, because it's like you're not going to want to miss it. I promise you. So I also was able to sit down and talk with my second-born daughter, Essence, who recently graduated from college. I literally traveled upstate just to see her, because I haven't really seen her since COVID. So it's been real random, sporadic. We talk every day on FaceTime. But yeah, I got to go up there to see her, sit down with her, see her house. She's 22. She's doing the damn thing. I'm proud. I'm patting myself on the back all the time, because she went to college. She'd never been away from home, never been away from the family. And she graduated. She did her 4 years. She actually took a semester and lived in South Korea for 5 or 6 months. Did all of that by herself. Came back, graduated recently, April of this year, 2021, and did not have to come back home. She's good. She's working. She's I'm blessed. I'm really blessed. So I did get a chance to sit down and talk to her, to kind of put some of you parents out there at ease who have kids who are about to venture off to chapter college, is what I call it, because it's a whole new stepping stone. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new situation when it comes to your baby going off to college. It's hard. especially when they're in a different state. I mean, my child was just upstate New York, but still 7 hours away. So it was very scary for me to basically like let her go. She's my first child. No, I'll take that back. She's my second child to move away from home, but she's my first child who is like, was sheltered and babied. Like my oldest, she got to do and experience like a little bit more side by side with me because I had her at a young age. So she was like my roadie from jump. But Essence was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Do I really want to send her off? Especially upstate, being around non-black people. It was very scary because the racial things that I knew she would probably endure, she had never been a part of, or like it would never be on that level, because upstate New York white people are different from like the 5-borough white people. Completely different. And then I'm like, how many times am I going to have to travel up there to get in somebody's ass for messing with my daughter? But that wasn't actually the case. So, it's scary letting your baby go off to experience life, but it's not without you. It's just from a distance. That's how I looked at it. So seeing them every day, having them under your roof, safe each night, coming home, safe and sound, becomes phone calls every second in the first few weeks to damn near not at all, unless they need money. Even though my kids very rarely come to me for money, because they know it got to be something real serious for y'all to need money. So, that's just the frugal parent that I am. I have a very large family, so they always get what they need from who they need to get it from. And they know to come to me for the stuff that's like important. Like it's no other way. Like I really need this because it's for a legit reason. So, they'll call me when they need me, for real. But when you have to call this, like sometimes like I know parents might have to call to see if their kids are okay. Like, hello, remember me? Hi, hello, hi, I'm mom. It's not really something that you should take personal, because you have to understand your kids are venturing off to a new chapter. Now they're like getting their nose wet and like not having a curfew, not having to check in and be like, I have a curfew, I have to be home by 11 o'clock. Like now they're in college, they're going to be doing things that they know you may not agree with, but sometimes you got to let them fly, make their mistakes. And if you've raised your kids good, or like if you're satisfied with the way you raise your kids, then you should be secure in knowing that they're going to be okay. Like me, I know my kids, they will tell you, they hear my voice. Everything that they try to do, it's like, if this don't work out like I want it or need it to work out, is it going to be a situation that I'm going to be okay with having to call my mother about? Like, if I end up in jail behind this shit, is it my mom that I'm going to feel safe to call to come to my rescue? Because they know I'm not with the shits. I'm like that strict mom, which is why I think I have such amazing kids. Because, it's like one less with my son, my only son. It's like one less baby daddy a chick got to be chasing down. And then with my 3 daughters, like, they're not chicken heads. They're not out in these streets running rapid and like just bugging out. They have good heads on their shoulder. So like, if you know that you have great kids that you've raised and that you've instilled enough positive and common sense into them, they'll be fine. I promise you, they'll be fine. So I can say another benefit, like, for social media, because even if I don't speak to my kids, because only my youngest is the only one currently at home. My other ones are older. They don't live at home, which is good, because my goal was, if by 18, if you are not able to be on your own or in college doing something with yourself, I did not do my job, because I'm trying to live my life like it's golden. So I got like 4 more years, not even, because my youngest is about to be 15. So I got like 3 more years until she's off to college. And I'm going to venture off into a whole other chapter of life, which y'all probably won't be ready for. But anyway, neither here nor there. But I do like the benefit of social media, because if I don't get a chance to speak to them, then I know I can just like stumble across their page, because with kids going to college, if they're not interacting with you, you can at least tap on their Instagram or Twitter or Facebook to see like how they're doing, because sometimes it might just be them overwhelmed with studying and like, because I promise you, college is a different world from high school. And I didn't know that because I didn't go to college like full, like I tried it, but school was never for me. So I would get in those states where I'm like, they don't even call me unless they need something. And like, I haven't spoken to them in fun. And then I go to their Instagram and I'm like, oh, they've been flooded with studies. They've been doing research. They've been having all of these classes going on. So, okay, makes sense. So just always keep that in mind. But anyway, I got to sit down with Essence so that she can kind of speak to us on her experience. And then also I have the question of the week from last week. I had people reply and respond, which I thought was dope. So I read those and I give the new question of the week. And then, also just be ready to share this podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. Check out my website and just continue to support. Like, I really, really appreciate the numbers that I'm seeing, the places I'm seeing of where my listeners are. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. So can I just tell y'all about the amazing experience, August 29th, 2021, Hollywood, California, at the Hollywood Bowl. D-Nice. Club Quarantine Live. And for anyone who has been there from like day one, from March of 2020, he literally saved us at the start of COVID. Like, I don't know how we would have made it. Mainly our music lovers, I should say, because I know it's still a lot of people who don't even know who D-Nice is. They don't know about Club Quarantine. Sorry for y'all. But I'm putting y'all on now. So if you don't know who D-Nice is, from Boogie Down Productions, a legendary DJ, rapper, freaking photographer. Like, his photography is ridiculous. Anyway, so like, he started Club Quarantine back in March of 2020, one night just being live on IG, and just like, for all of us who was there trying to figure out life, because everything had like literally like just started shutting down. You couldn't go to work, or those like myself who are essential workers, we were trying to figure out safety matters. It was ridiculous. Like, so to be a part of that from the beginning, it was like over 100 million, like the top first time ever having that many people on a live for anyone. Like, it was amazing. So anyway, fast forward to last night, August 29th. I flew out to LA Saturday on the 28th by myself, didn't have anyone to come with me. This is also a work experience, or opportunity, I should say. So, to set the scene of the Hollywood Bowl for those who've never been there, like, you're literally like outside in the mountains, and there's outdoor seating. Like, they even give pillows to sit on when you first enter. I think you had to pay for those, but I knew I wasn't going to sit down, because I knew it was going to be like an event that if you were sitting down, you should have kept your ass at home. But even coming into the event, like, once you get through parking, I actually took a lift, although I walked back to my hotel, because I was just like that high on the experience. Like, I was like, I'm not taking a lift. Like, I had to walk it off. Like, I'm still waking up like, oh my God, the experience. But even outside, so I don't know if these people didn't have tickets or whatever, they were like kind of semi tailgating or whatever, but you had people with like drinks and sitting outside on blankets, like a whole picnic scene as soon as you walk up to Hollywood Bowl. Then once you come inside, same thing. You have people just like chilling, people running into people they haven't seen in a long time, people who have actually kind of like had Club Quarantine bring them together. So like on social media, when we're watching D-Nice live and we're like in the comments or whatever, you know, that ventures off to other people following you and you networking and connecting or whatever. So I've seen a lot of moments like that with people who finally got to see people they've been communicating with on Instagram for all this time. But anyway, so then you go through security, you get to, like, you know, there's a lot of concession stands, the beer, like a Modelo, which was like maybe, I want to say like, I guess like a deuce. It was like $17. I was like, people are really paying $17 for a $2 beer, but okay, do you? They had wine, they had popcorn, they had pretzels. I did get that just because I needed something to coat my stomach because I had already started drinking before I got there. What else? Like the D-Nice t-shirts, Club Quarantine fits, look like, and drone, like it was amazing, like to see everybody. It was like we were all cousins coming together to party, have a good ass time. And then it started. So once you got to your seat, like it literally started at 7:00, like on time. People were still trickling in. He came out, you know, we like were going crazy. People were still entering. It was a sold out event. And when I say sold out, I don't know how many people can fit or is like allowed at the Hollywood Bowl, but it was completely sold out. It was so cool though as well that you didn't necessarily have to stay in your seats. Like they wasn't clocking it like that. Like, you know, if you were all the way at the top and you wanted to come down, security wasn't tight like they would be at like Madison Square Garden or like Barclay, like some of the places I've experienced. But anyway, so we mingling, everybody walking, there's like drinking, there's smoking, like there's a lot of things going on. People are still mingling. He started off with like a few songs to kind of set the mood. Then of course he came out with some Michael Jackson because it was also his birthday, R.I.P. And then Donnie Wahlberg and Chris Spencer, they came out to host. When I say they were hilarious, like just setting the mood and just like really getting everything pumping. Then we had like a gospel. So to set the mood, it was like he set the mood with like gospel. So we had like a whole church. I mean, it was a Sunday, so like it was only right, and it made me not feel as bad for not listening to my gospel for the day because I had spent all day getting ready for the event. But we had like a whole gospel group. God forgive me because he's one of my favorites that I listen to on my Pandora, but I cannot think of his name right now. Then we had Kanialade. I really should know how to pronounce her name, but I don't. Sorry. But I do listen to her. I do have one of her singles. Then Mary, Erica Campbell from Mary, who I've met, who I've seen a few times. I have her book. She came out and it was off from there. Like she gave us some of her tunes that we love, and we danced, we partied like for the Lord. Like literally for the Lord, we partied with her. Then when Deborah Cox came out, who has been involved with Club Quarantine from the beginning, like she was there in the comments the first day when Club Quarantine started back in March of 2020. So I know they've been working together. Like once D-Nice had this dream of having this live event take place, she's been down from day one. I believe sometime in July, she did a post saying that she was going to be a part of yesterday's event going on. So from then I was locked in. Like I'm gonna be there. I love her to death. Grew up with her, listening to her. She took me through like a lot of hard times growing up, you know, when you're in love and all of that good stuff. So that was like a dope situation. Like that was just, I don't know, it's just everything about her coming out. She had all the legs, like her legs, the outfit she had on, she was like leg out, looked amazing. She even gave us a Whitney tribute. We harmonized, we sang, like it was amazing. Then right after she left, D Nice did a Biz Markie tribute, which like tears. We all had our lighters up or had our phone lights on, our flashes. He did a whole, like, you got what I need situation. Like, we was harmonizing once again, singing all through it. That, like, you know, that, because it's still fresh for him passing away. So, like, that was kind of, like, heartfelt. Then when he brought out George Clinton, so he had already mentioned, like, George, I see George Clinton in the house. So, you know, we excited, but we did not know he was going to come out. He came out in a shiny outfit with a Lakers jersey, some Laker color sneakers. Like, he was looking so dope, but he performed, you know, Atomic Dog. You know, why must we chase the cat? So to see him live doing that was amazing. I've seen him live before. But that was great. And then followed by Common. So Common in his baldness, sexy as he is, he was breakdancing. Like, he literally started breakdancing to one of his songs and set the whole, like, you know, atmosphere of now we know it's about to really, like, get turned up a little bit more. So all of this in between, like, as D-Nice is announcing these people to come out to perform, you know, he's in between giving us, like, little musical segments or whatever. And then my favorite of all favorites, Prince related, like, just if you've never seen her perform live, you need to get your life because she's amazing. Miss Sheila E. came on stage with her drums, and I'm thinking about posting a video on my Instagram. I guess, what's that? My IGTV. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to consider doing that. But so look out for that if you follow me at Brooklyn Ty NYC on Instagram. But she came out and did her set, and it was amazing. Everything about it, like, was so dope. She had these fingerless gloves that glowed in the dark. Like, it was amazing. And then Tank. So then Tank comes out. Let me tell you about Tank. I love me some Tank, but it's so hard to love him these days because when he came out, it was like I was with my ex-husband, and that was like his first album was like the whole soundtrack. Like, I loved listening to Tank. Everything about Tank would always put me in favor or in mind of my ex-husband. So it was kind of hard being there listening to him. I actually got up to go to the bathroom when he came on. I caught some video, took a few pics, and then I was like, let me go to the bathroom. This is a bathroom moment. Then when I came back, I heard Trey Songz being announced coming to the stage. He came out looking like Beetlejuice, and also reminded me of when I seen Lil Wayne in a similar outfit ways back. I think that was like 2011 when he had just got out of jail and he was at Summer Jam, and he came out looking the same, like black and white jailbird, kind of like. Anyway, I don't want to be negative about Trigger. I don't really care for him too much because, you know, I just know a lot of situations from like events that have gone on in Virginia, but that's neither here nor there. He gave a good performance. We kind of carried him through because he was kind of toned out. The tone wasn't the best, but, you know, it was live. We helped sing a lot of the songs. Plus, you know, when you know all of the songs, you're going to sing along to it anyway. But then to end the show, Ronald Isley and the Isley Brothers came out. He came out looking very slick and good. White suit from head to toe, white hat, everything. Like, it was amazing. And, you know, so let me just give y'all sidebar. I say amazing a lot. It's one of my favorite words to express. Like when I say amazing, like that's on the level of you had to be there, because even me saying amazing doesn't describe how dope and, whatever word is above amazing, like whatever. So it ended. It was about maybe a 3-hour event, give or take, maybe about from like 7 to 10:30. People started heading out, and some people lingered behind, still like kind of vibing off of what just took place. I am blessed to be able to see the D-Nice Club Quarantine live again in Brooklyn, my borough. That's when I'm going to really do like a full blog on Club Quarantine, D-Nice. I have a little bit more upfront and personal things that'll be taking place, so stay tuned for that. So I just wanted to give y'all that part of what I've been doing. If you, again, have not watched or been a part of Club Quarantine Squad Up, and when I say squad, it's literally SCQUAD, CQ for Club Quarantine, of course. You can catch D-Nice live randomly. Like, actually, he's always live. I guess because he's touring right now, but even sometimes when he might be live on Instagram, it may be like another DJ that he's highlighting or giving them a platform, which is also dope. I love seeing DJs that give other DJs platforms. Some of the DJs D-Nice have on are like legendary, so like you'll get a lot of people you're familiar with on his IG live. So look out for that. Become a squad member. If you are ever like in the middle of the night, up, nothing to do, need some tunes, click on to his live. And yeah, that's what I got. Hey, it's Brooklyn Ty. Join me Saturday, September 4th, 2021 from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Iron Loft, which is located at 117 14th Street in Brooklyn. Brooklyn Minded and Best Friend Rose presents a dope-ass event allowing you to connect and build with some entrepreneurs. Music provided by DJ Destiny, and it's hosted by Ozzy Hype of the We Get Hype Show. Please join me along with Royal Studios, Stack Income, Wildflower, We Get Hype Show, Orisha Edibles, 6 Summers, Tattoos by Genesis, Eric Diaz of Sea Moss's Life, and it's sponsored by Hemp Water. So again, that's at the Iron Loft, 117 14th Street in Brooklyn, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., September 4th, 2021. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn Ty way. Okay, guys, so with school and colleges starting back up and me having a lot of friends who have kids who are about to venture off to college for the first time, and a lot of people I follow and a lot of people who follow me have kids who are about to start their freshman year. So I wanted to speak with my daughter Essence today. She just graduated college. She did live away from home, although she was still in New York City. Well, she was actually upstate, so she was in New York State, so she was still in New York, but many, many hours away. So I wanted her to kind of talk to you and maybe ease the freshman process from a student's point of view, or maybe from, having the parents a little bit at ease. So, Essence, how are you?
Hi, thank you for letting me come on. Hi, guys. So my name is Essence. I go to SUNY Potsdam, and I studied international studies and criminal justice. I've been living by myself for a while now. When I think about it, it's like crazy to me to think that college is like over, basically. And now that I'm older and I'm like, I want to venture out and do more things and continue this living on my own. But if I could ease your feelings on how people feel, letting your child go away to college is one of the best things, I feel. I feel that I have this sense of independence and things that, like, I have this sense of independence that I wasn't able to have before. So beforehand, I was like really dependent on my mom, and I am still. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still dependent on my mom, but I was like, oh, can you call the doctor for me? Wait, can you call? What should I eat? Or like, like waiting for her to feed me and things like that. Now I'm older, I'm like, I can do those calls by myself, and I can like set these things up by myself. And I got myself to Korea later on, being by myself. Like my friends that live more at home, they're like, I would never be able to do that. I would be really scared to be able to just like get up and leave. But listen, 2 different cultures from Potsdam to New York City, like it's like a whole different culture. There's nothing up here. I want you guys to know where I go to school. There is nothing up here but corn and fields and cows, and there's maybe like the only thing keeping like my area alive is like the 3 college towns. So moving from New York City, which always has everything handed right to me, and I'm like now more grateful for those areas that have more diversity and more like things to eat, I guess, to like be able to just, you know what, if I can live in this country place after living in the city, I can probably live anywhere.
Yeah, because like you don't have buses or transportation to get to the supermarket. Like how does that work out? How do y'all get around, like say like freshman year? What was it like when it came time to, after the first rush, we set you up good. We had all of the toilet tissue, all of the food.
Yeah.
When you started running out, what was that process like?
Okay, so that was a scary first moment. I was like, wow, okay. I have to actually get on this bus and go to Walmart by myself. I'm like, I don't even know what toilet paper I use. I was like, my mom picks out my toilet paper. I don't even know what toilet paper I use. And I didn't know how to do my laundry. And it's just because I just didn't. I was like, well, my mom is... mom, she'll take me, and I see her doing the process. But that first week, I was like, you know what? I'm either going to have none of the things I need, no more like shower gels and stuff, or I'm going to just go out there and do it myself. I did ask a lot of questions to you. I don't know if you remember how many times I called you in the beginning half. I was like, wait, like, so what do you do this? Wait, where's my number? Wait, where do I put my birth certificate? I don't even know where my
yeah, because I know like you did, like, I'm very proud of you because you did everything basically from beginning to end, from like setting up the school, going to the school, and just like being responsible. And although we weren't that far, it was like, if she needs, what if she wakes up in the middle of the night and like she's scared and she can't just come climb in the bed. She's gonna have to fend for herself, but also like making new friends. What was that like? Like having a roommate, and because I remember those, we was ready to like. She better be nice because I'm not gonna be coming up here. Like that was my biggest thing too. Like the different people, especially it was gonna be a lot of white people, and what was that? Well, that shouldn't have been like a real shock because I also raised y'all in Virginia too, so you've been around white people, but it was different.
It was different. This is, even in Virginia, I was like in my own spaces. This is like forced in other people's spaces. But making friends in college is really easy because everyone has no one right now. That's how I thought about like even going abroad. Like no one has each other yet, and people are looking to make friends and looking to meet new people. So me, I got here, I made new friends, I got like a boyfriend like 2 seconds. I'm sorry, moms out there, don't let you say no. Tell them no. Tell them Essence said from Brooklyn Ties that no, said don't do that.
Dating.
No dating the first 3 seconds. I was there for 2 seconds. But and then I just like made friends from his friends, and then I ended up joining a sorority my freshman year. It's just with letting your kid go to college, just let them go and experience, new crowds and new people and like new scenes. Like, I changed up who I was. I know when I left for college, I was into musicals and stuff like that. But then when I got to college, I'm like into Korea and into like the language and stuff like that. So I went down a different path in college, then I thought I was going to go on. I thought I was going to be like FBI at one point. What do I look like in the FBI?
Yeah, I mean, like, my daughter went abroad. She went and did a semester in South Korea. And even for that, like, we had to prepare her for going to a different country. Like, that was a whole different, like, I cannot believe that, like, it even happened, and that
it's almost 2 years now.
It was a scary experience. It was like everything had to be transformed into, like, you know, she's not gonna know the language all the way, even though she was learning how to speak Korean or whatever the language is called.
It is.
But even for that, like, what was that? What was it living in a different country by yourself?
I think living in New York really toughened me up a little bit, because, you know, I always have people saying, okay, make sure you be careful, so I think my reflexes is much faster than how I act. Like, I lose everything all the time, but I bet you I can see someone coming a mile away. I turn around really fast. So I think learning from you guys, and then also having the freedom to know, like, you know, if I go to Korea, mommy's always been really supportive of the things I do, that she's gonna be okay, and she knows that I'll call her every day, like, because I keep in contact. I call my mom every morning, but like, I like keep in contact. So her having that freedom and having my back on that situation made it really easy for me to go to Korea, even if I was scared, because I was scared the whole time. Like, I think when they left me in the plane because she couldn't even take me to the plane, she left me right at the gate, and I was like, oh, she really not coming with me, like, to get me on. I was like, wow, they really left me, and they let me go. But having that support system and having someone be like, you know what, you can do it, Essence, I know you'll be fine, and then knowing that I have that support system really got me over there. But the greatest time of my life, I definitely encourage studying abroad, and encouraging your kids to go do it. It doesn't have to be in a big scary place like Korea. It could be like a different state or something, but it does help you, like, just build life skills, and also it's just like it shaped me to who I am right now. So so I know it's hard to travel now and do those things with COVID, but so starting your first week as a freshman in a new school, you have no friends that have come from high school with you to college. What is that? Is that a fear, or is it just like, what's the focus on that first week when it comes to, you know, just being on your own? That first week, my advice is to take all the free stuff and to meet all the people that are around taking the free stuff, because that's all of, like, those, they make so many things for freshmen. I really wish that they paid more attention to, like, a lot of students, like, in a lot of colleges, but freshmen get a lot of attention that first week, and there's so many, like, activities and fairs and stuff like that. Like, go to all that stuff, and then once you meet those friends, like, usually you'll meet somebody who, like, oh, okay, I like this stuff, so this person likes this stuff just like me, or they live in your hall, or they're your roommate. Like, get to know them, and then get to know the people around them, because then also that's how you meet the most people. But I know that freshmen are usually the biggest groups on campus. Like, they travel in packs, is what we say. Like, they walk in like 10 to 8 groups. But that's basically everybody who met at orientation that all met up, and now they're all walking together and sticking together for the rest of the 5 weeks that they're friends until they give up on each other. So I think freshman year is nothing to be scared about that first week or those first 2 weeks, because you have so many opportunities and thrown in so many groups. Because now that I'm a senior, I graduated, I'm like, I can't believe I used to hang out with those people. I said, there's some of the people I used to hang. I have pictures with some people, and I'm like, I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah,
so,
that's life. Mm-hmm. But also, what was it like getting around learning the campus?
Oh, so I suggest to everybody too, even like the students that I used to teach, to go on a walk the first day, like the day before, because that's what I did with high school too. We went on like the train the day before, but to get me used to how to get there, I like walked around and said, okay, my class is here, okay, here. And then after that, like if anybody said they were going to lunch, I followed them to lunch, or I'll like see how the campus was after that. But I walked around and did a tour around it myself to like, so I'm not the freshman. You don't want to be the freshman holding the paper up and looking around. I didn't want the energy. So I just.
So you want to like scope the scene first and make sure you can do it like natural.
I was like, I know where I'm going, but you know the way they knew I didn't know where I was going. I had a big book bag. This boy showed up to the first day of class with one piece of paper and a pencil, and I had a big book bag with all my books for the class. I was ready. I had just walking with both double strapped up, ready to go on my day. And the guy walking, I was like, dang, I'm just not ready. They know. They can smell it on me. They know I'm a freshman.
So what was it like now? And you can be honest. So, like, now it's like, okay, my mom's not here. Like, I'm on my own.
I went to a lot of parties. I partied a lot my freshman year. But it's like they're in college now. Like, just like at least they got to college before they started acting up crazy. Like, they're gonna party and they're gonna want to dance with their friends and
yeah, that's like I was like, I know it's gonna happen. I want you to experience all of that because you know I live my life through y'all. So, yeah, a lot of college parties.
Yeah,
she parties good. She parties good.
My heart,
very very good.
I think it's just like a thing that's gonna happen. They're all gonna just like meet up and like want to hang out all night and go on weird adventures. And I don't know, whatever. We went to Korea one time and I got lost on a mountain and I was like, I can't tell my mom I lost on this mountain. And I said I wasn't even supposed to go up here, like things like that. So they have those most my mom was right moments in these situations.
Yes.
Like my mom was right. Oh no.
Yes.
I shouldn't have done that. Like, so if you want to like be like, fine, this, if you don't go listen to me, the werewolf will teach you these instances when I'm like, you know what? My mom never let me do this, and I try it, and I'm like,
yeah, that's what I always hope. Like when y'all are on your own, especially like all of y'all are on your own except for one, but that y'all hear my voice in every situation. Like right before y'all get ready to do something, and just be like, what would my mother do? Or like think about like, if I did this and it didn't go well, am I telling my mother? Am I having to call my mother? So that makes y'all like, you know. Yeah. So that's why like sending y'all off to school and being on your own and stuff like that was I knew I raised y'all well enough to like be okay. Mm-hmm. But how many friends do you have now from freshman year that like that you're still in contact with? Or were you with the friends you made in freshman year? Were you friends with all of them by senior?
I pledged with them. I think yeah. So my I have 10 pledge sisters, so where we like joined the sorority together. So the last 5 of us, like we all joined at the same time. So I don't know. We were hot commodity. We were like a package deal for a lot of the houses. But we were. That's how I met my friends. And then I didn't stop my doing stuff for the house until now. So I'm still I still know a lot of the girls from freshman year. And then one of my little now is one of my friends from freshman year. So she like joined later on, and so it's like I kept a few of them. I definitely did learn from the people I didn't keep, though, because some people we just didn't fit, or we just weren't friends, or we just are in different paths in life, and that's okay. Like when you guys lose, like when you tell your children anyway, when you guys lose your friends, like it's not that it's life.
It's about growth.
Yeah,
and moving on. Mm-hmm. And how were the professors and teachers? Were they easy going when it came to like turning in papers, or making y'all feel a little bit more like on the babyish side because y'all are freshmen and this is a new experience? Or were they like tough from the beginning?
I feel like high school teachers exaggerated on how bad my professors were going to be. When you get to college, then when you get to I was like, I've had really mean teachers, but I haven't had teachers that were just like the worst people ever. Like, I haven't, not in my department anyway, so I might be just lucky. But I like my professors that are like, listen, I'm not going to hold your hand. Actually, no. My favorite professor, he said to us, he was like, listen, if you do not show up to class, you might as well just take your hand in your pocket, take money out, and throw it out this window. He said, because I already got paid to be here. He said, you're paying for this. This is like not the same thing as like high school. Like, you're paying to be here. So if you decide that you want to party all night and skip this class, and then you don't understand how to do the test, that's on you. And so that they basically hold a lot of accountability on you. Like, what you do is going to have it's going to have consequences for your actions and things like that. So the professors don't hold your hand in college, but they are the most easygoing people, and they really work with you through it. So my professors have been really, really good to me during COVID, because it's been really hard for me to learn online. But having, like, I know my other friends, they didn't have the same situation, but they do. It's more good professors than bad ones, I would say.
Cool. And so once you, now as a senior, as you graduate, what was the decision to like not come home? Because you're still up at school. I mean, you still have, was it a feeling of, okay, now that I've graduated, now I can go back home? Or like, is it now, well, I've lived on my own for 4 years, is like, I can do this by myself. I don't have to necessarily go back home.
I think COVID really like hindered the things I was able to do and how I felt about being at home, because I like being at home, but I just know that having my own space is just really nice. Like, I just like, I don't know, I make a lot of noise all the time, and I'm just all over the place. So like, I don't know, living at home, I think I felt after being in college that I was like, I could do this, and I can like pick a new like a career somewhere, and I can just like, me and Rosie, that's my cat, she's beautiful. Me and Rosie, we said we could just sit up here. But the reason I decided to stay this summer is because change of scenery. It's really pretty up here in the summertime, surprisingly, more than the winter time. But I know that like
not as cold,
definitely not as cold. But I just like, I think after living by myself, I was like, it's not that bad. I'm responsible. My mom raised a responsible kid. I act up, but I'm responsible.
Well, thank you so much for being here for a little bit, talking to me.
No problem.
And that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Now it's time to get into what's the word on the streets. So have y'all been seeing some of these crazy challenges that are all over, like heavy on social media? So if you have been, then you know about these dumbass challenges. One in particular is walking over and up milk crates. On grass, mind you, and almost always falling off. Very few have made it up and over, yet folks still attempt to do it for free. Now, me personally, as a trained dancer, I have exceptional balance, and I know I will be able to do it. Now, even with that being a fact, I'm not doing it. Well, actually, I'll take that back. I do it for like a minimum of maybe $10,000. Somebody offer me $10,000, yeah, maybe I'll attempt it, but that would be like the minimum, like I said. These idiots are doing it for free. These idiots are doing it on grass. Most of them don't even have balance. Some can't even walk right. So they're walking up these crates on grass and nearly crashing to their death. Some have even been seriously injured. And I mean, you're doing this for what? You're a grown-ass adult, mind you. You're doing it for what? To be the next star on TikTok or a world star? Is it worth it? And then I started seeing them doing it in prison, and I'm like, all right, now it's a little bit too far. Where are these milk crates coming from? I've also seen people kicking crates from under the person walking up the crate. Now that's just ridiculous, disrespectful. And if you hurt or kill the person, then what? You'll be going to jail? It's not even worth all of that. So, of course, then the white people started doing it. And then it gets banned on TikTok. I wonder why. It seems to me every time they start doing something that black people started, which, black people kill yourself. Do all of that craziness. We don't care. But then when the white people start doing it, then it's like, oh no, this is harmful. You can injure yourself. We have to ban this. We have to stop them from TikTok. We have to stop allowing this to be posted. Like, it wasn't that the first damn 3 weeks, but as of late, and I believe maybe about Thursday or Friday of last week, they've banned it from being posted to TikTok. I'm not sure about Instagram or any of the social networks, but I know for TikTok, because that's where most challenges start these days, I should say. You can't do it on TikTok anymore. So then what do we go on to? We have other people, another challenge, the $50 scholarship challenge. And now when I say black people, can I talk to you for a minute? Y'all know y'all grandma, y'all know mama, y'all know mommy, y'all know auntie, y'all know they don't play with certain shit when it comes to how they're seen from other people. And then you want to call them out as being a prostitute, which is actually a lie, for a scholarship. So basically they're on the camera, and it's been a lot of maybe teenagers, a lot of teenagers, anywhere from 18 to maybe 25-year-olds. I'm only assuming because this is how it looks to me, because you can't be over 25 trying to prank your mom or your grandma talking about you have an opportunity for a $50,000 scholarship, and you're about to say that, they used to be a prostitute. You're not doing that. So now you have them coming on the camera with their mother or grandmother, and they're like, yeah, so I think I should be awarded this scholarship because my mom or grandma, whoever's sitting there with them, she took out a lot of her life to support me and my siblings. She used to be a prostitute. Once they say that, the whole hoax and prank and joke is for the mother or grandma to react. And when I say these reactions have not been safe, I would never, I'm 44. I would never prank my mother or my grandmother for nothing. My kids have risked their lives doing it maybe about twice. And I dared them to do this challenge because, one, my mother ain't going for it. My mother don't play none of that social media nonsense. And one of them will end up in the hospital. And I'm not covering them with my insurance. So the reactions have been, one girl got her ass beat. Her mother was tearing her ass up with other people walking in the background. Yeah, she was. Yep, I remember, to kind of make it, I guess, seem that much more real. Then you have the real reactions of, what you talking about? I wasn't no prostitute. How you sitting there talking about? And then you have mothers embarrassing themselves, saying I wasn't a prostitute, but the niggas I used to sleep with was because, and it's yo, you really putting business out there. Now, I wouldn't even post it. It would get to where I would watch it back and then be do I really want all of this negative feedback? Because it will happen. And you're doing it for what? Just so that you can get likes and views? That don't even make any kind of sense to me. Just to be famous, Instagram famous, TikTok famous, that it's come to this. And I do understand we're still in COVID times. People have nothing to do with their time right now. We're trying to get back outside. it's not going as fast as we would like. So we're finding things to do with our time. And the things that people are finding to do with their time are ridiculous. Like, read a book. Read a book. Start a podcast. Like, I mean, there's so many other things you can do to kind of get your name out there, get your business out there, kill time in a more positive manner that does not involve other people being in, like, you know, shitting on, basically. Because I feel like if one of my kids tried to prank me just to be on TikTok or World Star or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever, Facebook, like, y'all playing me. Like, y'all playing me for y'all benefit. And then we're going to have a serious situation going on. And my kids don't want that smoke. And they know it. But yeah, so I think we need to do better with these kids. We need to start, like, showing them other positive things that they can be doing to become famous on social media. I mean, there are a lot of ways. People have done positive things. People have helped the homeless. People have volunteered their time. Things like that. I've seen people get a lot of views, become famous, been given a lot of extra opportunities. So yeah, can we kind of like lead towards that way on things? And what else is going on? So let's see, what am I watching? So on Hulu, I've been watching a new series, 9 Perfect Strangers. I never heard of the book, but once I seen the trailer, I found out that it was actually a book. And then I had to debate, do I want to read the book first or do I just want to watch the series? But lack of anything to watch lately, I said, let me just watch the series. So there's 4 episodes. It stars Nicole Kidman, who I love, Melissa McCarthy, who's hilarious. What's this guy's name? Michael Shannon, Bobby Cannavale, who also was hilarious. And then we have Regina Hall, who she's on everything. Like, COVID did not shut her down. She's been working. She's been working. She's getting a check. So it's always good to see her, still working out there. Then we have Melvin Gregg, who I was like, who is that? He looks so familiar. Where's his face from? Like, where? Then it hit me, and I was like, oh shit, that's Man Boy from Snowfall. So those that watch Snowfall, Man Boy is in this movie, and he's a little more softer than he is in Snowfall. He's not a thug at all. And then we have Tiffany Boone, who she's been on... What was that? She was on The Shy, actually. She was in the first season, maybe the first and second season. I know she did like a long run in the beginning of The Shy. She played Jason Mitchell's girlfriend. She did a good job in this movie, or in this series. She's doing a good job in this series, I should say. So if you need something to watch, and it doesn't require you having a need to like binge, because I should have probably binge watched and just waited for everything to, for the whole season to finish, but, whatever. So that's, again, 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu. And then on Netflix, I'm watching Really Love, who, if they wanted to make me fall in love with just the actors alone, they got it. They did it. So this movie is about an artist and lawyer love, I guess, if you can just picture like a starving artist trying to get his name out there, his work out there, and a lawyer from a well-to-do family. They fall in love, and does it work out? I don't know. I'm not giving any spoilers. But this has Michael Ealy, sexy, Mac Wilds, oh my God, and Kofi from Queen Sugar. Y'all know Kofi. Kofi, Siribo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Kofi. That's how I say it. And then we also have Uzo Aduba from Orange is the New Black. And like opera singer and like all other movies. So everybody knows Uzo. So y'all can check that out. That's on Netflix. One more thing that I'm watching on Netflix is called Clickbait. It stars Betty Gabriel. So if you're not familiar with all of the good movies and films she's done, I'm not too familiar with everything, but I have seen her and watched her. She was what was her name? Georgina in Get Out, like the spooky kind of crazy lady. But this role that she plays as a mother of two mixed boys, her husband was a white man, really has nothing to do with like the plot twist of anything as far as racial mix and all of that, but just to put it out there. But the husband is murdered, and then it's a matter of tracking down who did it, and like all of these things come out that have you looking like, yeah, that's good for him. Like, it's good they killed him. But then once you start getting deeper into the episodes, it's like, wait, so who did it? And as far, like, you keep getting further and further, it's like, yo, like, all the way down to the very last episode, I was like, huh? And I'm still, like, stuck. But it was very, very good. It's a good movie. Again, that's on Netflix. It's called Clickbait. So y'all can always email me, and if y'all want to refer or recommend a nice movie, good movie. I'm not really into the scary stuff. I do not watch scary movies unless it's like pre-1990s scary, because like Michael Myers and Freddy and all of that was baby scary. Like I'm on that level. I'm on the before 90s. I'm the baby scary movies. Like, I can do those. The movies that your kids can watch. Well, I'll take that back, because kids today watch things that I'm just like, how? But anyway, now I feel like I'm babbling. But one last thing that I need to mention. Can we just talk about the state of Texas? Now, no real shade, but shade. Because I've never been to Texas. I may have flown through Texas, may have traveled through Texas. Probably not. I really doubt it, to be honest. But I will never visit Texas. Sorry to my listeners in Texas. Love y'all. I don't understand if you're black, how you're living in Texas. I don't understand if you're female. No matter what background, race, creed, whatever, why are you living in the state of Texas? So I'm minding my own black business, and I'm just scrolling through Instagram, and I see ACLU, which is American Civil Liberties Union. They just put out a tweet. Well, not a tweet, I'm sorry. They just put out an Instagram post that basically, so they go, breaking news. And this is today, September 1st, that I'm seeing it, but they posted it yesterday, August 31st. Breaking news. The Supreme Court has not responded to our emergency request to block Texas' radical new 6-week abortion ban, which is also called SB 8. The law now takes effect. So let's see what this law is. Basically, the law bans abortion as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy, before many people even know they're pregnant. The result is that many Texans will be forced to carry pregnancies against their will. So basically, as an example, someone gets raped, a female gets raped, she gets pregnant due to this rape. She has to carry this pregnancy. Like, that's crazy. Now, I haven't researched enough really to see, like, if something like that happens, or like, it's not that situation. You could be with a significant other and you just not ready for a baby and things slip, whatever. He shoot the club up right quick by mistake, and now you're pregnant. I don't know if you go to another state and get an abortion, if that is something that's an option. However, it gets better though, because then they also have an effect. Private individuals, that's like me, you, anybody, including anti-abortion activists with no connection to the patient. So, like, you could know somebody that's having an abortion or don't know the person having the abortion. They can now sue anyone who they believe is providing abortion or assisting someone in accessing abortion after 6 weeks. And this includes healthcare workers, clergy, because, like, people of the Lord will always try to help you. And as well as rideshare drivers. And ACLU put that being funny, but not being funny. Like, I can be a cab driver and I know that you helped or assisted somebody. Oh yeah, I'm reporting you. And so, like, ACLU goes on to say the law doesn't just allow these lawsuits, it actively encourages private individuals, again, me, you, the mailman, to act as bounty hunters by rewarding them at least $10,000 if they are successful. So they just, like, you're going to have a whole bunch of Karens and Kens and Kennards and Karen Elisas, and, like, it's going to be ridiculous that people are just going to be like, she had an abortion, she helped with an abortion. Like, what, citizen arrest? Like, how does that go down? How does all of this work? And it makes no sense. And these are men putting laws into, like, action like this. It's not fair. It's not right. Roe versus Wade. Like, what happened to that? I'm so confused with the state of Texas. But again, I don't live there. Don't have to deal with it. I just, again, feel sorry for my friends that live there. I would never come to visit you at this point in time, not spending my hard-earned money in the state of Texas. And, not that anyone cares, not that anyone has really necessarily invited me. I did get a few invites, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not doing it. I'm not. So I just wish everyone in the state of Texas the best of luck. And, you might want to try relocating to a better state that actually cares about women, that actually just cares about equal rights across the board, because Texas is about to be a whole shit show. And now it's time to get into the question of the week. So last week, the question of the week was, what's a summer activity you must do to make your summer complete? So shout out to everyone who replied, who sent emails, those who were in my DM, the ones who left comments on my IG. I appreciate all of you. So I wanted to read some of y'all interesting replies that I got. So Tracy L. from Chesapeake, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in Chesapeake, Virginia listening. She says she has to visit her Auntie Bev each summer. She says, and I quote, I'm 38 and have been visiting my auntie since I was about 10 years old. She never had any kids, so I was her summer child every year. She lives in the Pocono Mountains, so we'd go fishing, canoeing, and she even taught me how to play shuffleboard. Ever since I was 16, she'd started these full day spas, which we still do to this day. I actually just returned home from the Poconos visiting her. She is currently 86 years old, and I will forever be her summer child. Aw, I thought that was sweet. I have a few aunties that I have, like, special times with. So, my auntie Mona, shout out to you. And my auntie Bubbles, who is, like, she reminds me of, Essence, my second daughter, my second born, reminds me so much of my auntie Bubbles because they're both, like, world travelers. So, also Levy from New York City, he said the Bronx to be exact. He loved going to Dorney Park, Hershey Park, and Six Flags. And in that order, he says, because this would be the time he got to spend with his father's side of the family, who he would only get to see in the summertime. So those visits were always good. They have a lot of childhood memories. And even, and I quote, even some of my cousins today still link up when they have their children, and we all just have like a full day of action-packed childhood fun with our kids, living our lives and from our childhoods through them. I think that's pretty dope. And last but not least, I have Jessica out of Norfolk, Virginia. Shout out to everyone in Norfolk who tunes in to my podcast. That's my home away from home. Norfolk to me is like another Brooklyn. But Jessica says, I didn't do much over the summer because my parents worked, so I didn't have time to really be outside and play. But I did keep my eyes and nose inside of a good book. Even to this day, I fill my summers with all of the books I don't get a chance to read throughout the year. And I make special summertime reading 4 books at the minimum every summer. And it doesn't have anything to do with me being a librarian and volunteering as an English tutor. I think that's pretty dope. So shout out to everyone who has replied, responded, sent emails, who DM'd me, all of that good stuff. So this week, the question of the week is, what's the one thing you cannot leave home without? Me personally, it's my charger. So like, especially like really before COVID, but especially after COVID, with me being an essential worker, me having situations where, you know, I may have to reroute, and I have to make sure my phone is charged at all times. I have to have a way to contact someone. The MTA, which is the New York City subway transportation, they have pockets of Wi-Fi underground while the train is in motion, and definitely at every stop. But if you're between stops, sometimes it's kind of tricky. So I might be sitting in a car where I don't have reception or Wi-Fi, but if the train has the doors that allow you to move from cart to cart, then I might be able to maneuver and find Wi-Fi. But either way, like, I need to have a full battery. I need to have a full, like, charge way access. I can't be in a situation and then my phone dies. Like, that's my biggest like anxiety at this point, with all that we've endured over the last few years, and just being a New Yorker with so much crap that goes on. Like, and it's not even really for video purposes, because the first thing my instinct is not going to do is record something. My instance is going to be like to try to call 911, try to get some kind of assistance for that person, for what's going on, because I know for a fact somebody is going to be recording. So it doesn't have to be me. Like, I don't need that kind of like light shined on me as the person that recorded something. Like, no, I'm the one that got the help. So anyway, you know, again, what's the one thing you cannot leave home without? Email me at the podcast, what's the word, @gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which is at Brooklyn Ty NYC, and that's BKLYNNYC. You can also go to my website, which is www.brooklyntynyc.com, BKLYNTYENYC.com. You can subscribe to my website so that you don't miss a blog or a podcast post, amongst other things that I like to share and will be sharing now that the world is kind of opening up. So y'all know what's happening in New York and maybe in your surrounding areas. So subscribe. Also shop on my website. Support the cause. I have mugs. I have tote bags. I have t-shirts, hoodies, pins, buttons. Like, I have everything. So shop around. And if you're in Brooklyn this coming Saturday, which is September 4th, come out to the Loft, which is at 117 14th Street in the Gowanus section of Brooklyn. I'll be out there selling my merch. We have other Black-owned businesses that you'll be able to shop from and network with. Come out and support everyone trying to survive through these crazy days we've been having. So, that's the show for today. I really, really do appreciate everyone who has, congratulated me, everyone who has shared this podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. Be sure to subscribe, especially on, Spotify. Follow me on SoundCloud. I'm on, every outlet of podcastism. So wherever you can find the podcast, I'm there. So I really appreciate you guys. I look forward to hearing from you. Interact with me. I'm on, if a good way to really, really interact with me is on my Instagram, because my Instagram stories is more on a daily basis. So you'll get to see my crazy world, my ins and outs, and then other things that I share that I see or that people send me that is huh? So, check me out. BKLYNTYENYC. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And again, I will see y'all next time. And as always, spread love. It's the Brooklyn Highway.